So, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again. We are going to talk about Martin Odegaard, new 7-year contract offer on the table. And we are going to dissect that with a fine tooth comb. Before we do that, make sure you are sub to the channel. That would be fantastic. Make sure you stick a big thumbs up on the video. That would be equally as fantastic. Sub to the second channel. More content coming out on that, including the video today. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled. Didn't really want to go down the football route on that channel, but ain't really much news doing the rounds at the minute. So I'm going to react to some football news. So make sure you go and check that channel out. Lee Reacts. The video is in the description. And I will be back again later on today with Terry Flewer's 3:30 UK time. Our show's always fireworks, heated debates, left, right, and centre. And then I'll be back on here at 5 p.m. With Rants and Bants. So yeah, come and check that out. That's always a sick show as well. So big up to each and every one of you. But Martin Odegaard, currently having the best season he's ever had in football. Currently, he's bagged 10 goals already this season. And he's looking great. I can't lie. 10 goals, 6 assists in the league. And he's been absolutely fantastic this season, which has come out of the blue, really. Let's be real, because last season I thought he was in and out of games. Sorry, I'm lying. It's 10 goals, 7 assists. And yeah, last season he was kind of hit and miss. Key moments in key games, he'd disappear. Newcastle away, we remember that. Tottenham away, we remember that. And we kind of capitulated towards the end of the season, which ended up with us finishing 5th in the league. Massive disappointment, especially when pretty much most of our fans, if not all of them, expected top 4 when we were 4 points clear with 3 games to go. And then Tottenham swooped in and nabbed that place off of us. Ultimately, that didn't work out for them because they're on the verge of sacking Antonio Conte by the looks of it. But for us, we signed Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko in the summer as well. William Saliba's come into the team this season, and we've just gone levels. 69 points after 28 games is kind of ridiculous. I can't lie. And all the people that are sitting there saying, "Oh, it's because Liverpool are falling away, it's because Chelsea are falling away." I believe that's the second highest points tally in the Premier League after this stage of the season. I think only Liverpool have got more after 28 games. I think they had 79 points. I think they had won 27 and drawn 1 at that point. Ridiculous. But Martin Odegaard is currently under contract until 2025, and he's on roughly reported around 80, 90 grand a week. But he is apparently going to get a massive pay rise and be tied up to a 7-year contract, which would extend his current deal by 5 years. So 2030, his contract, if signed, would expire in 2030, the summer of 2030. Now, listen, I'm not Odegaard's biggest fan, or wasn't Odegaard's biggest fan, but he obviously watches the channel. He obviously knows how to shoot now. Big up to Martin Odegaard. And he has been absolutely fantastic this season. And like I said, it is his best season in football. Currently for Arsenal, he's 5 games short of playing 100 games as well, which is the most he's ever played at any club. He's on 95 at the minute. For Real Madrid, despite being there for so long, he played most of them in the reserves, in the B team, really, the Castilla. Played 62 games there, 11 games for the actual first team. He obviously went on loan, 36 games for Real Sociedad. And yeah, come to Arsenal on loan. Didn't really rip up any trees, in my opinion. I didn't think he was that good. I can't lie. We obviously then signed him and signed him up until 2025. And yeah, for the last season, or this season, or for the last 12 months, he's actually gone up quite a few levels. I can't lie. And it looks like he's really enjoying the football. He looks like he's really enjoying being the captain of the football club as well. And long may it continue, because as long as Arsenal are flying and as long as Arsenal are winning, I couldn't care less. Yeah, I couldn't care less. As long as we've got players on that pitch like this lot that have that desire, that hunger, and that will to win, and actually go and win football matches, go and compete for league titles, go and compete for all the cups. That is something we need to massively improve on, by the way, the cup competitions. I've seen so many people. We haven't got the squad to compete. It's a thin squad. All of these little buzzwords, thin squad. What's that mean? It just means we didn't do enough in the transfer windows. So hopefully now we're going to qualify for Champions League, which is pretty much nailed on. We need to go out there and make sure that that thin squad is now a thick squad, because we're going to be playing better teams in the Champions League next season. It's going to be very interesting to see how he levels up again. Obviously, we've seen that progression at Arsenal so far with him, and he has got a lot better with his finishing. Decision-making's gone up a level this season. Last season, I was extremely critical of him. Shooting when he should be passing when he should be shooting, not tracking back, pushed off the ball, super weak. Now it's almost like he's not even being challenged a lot, because he's now using his brain a lot more and floating out into areas where there's not anyone near him. Very Cesc-like, where he'd always have time and space. I'm not comparing him to Cesc in terms of ability. He's nowhere near. But in terms of this season, absolutely flying, and fair play to him, because he's been a massive part of why we're top of the table. Could even end up being player of the season. Let's be real here. He could be Arsenal player of the season. He could end up being Premier League player of the season. Captain of Arsenal that wins a title could end up being player of the season. Me personally, he's not my player of the season. I'd give that to Bukayo Saka. I think Thomas Partey is a close second. And then my third, Ben White. I think he's been unbelievable. I think he's been the best right back in the league this season. And again, another one that's gone up massive levels this season. Last season, obviously, he played at centre-back. Don't ever want to see him there ever again. Stay at right back. That's your position now. You've earned it. You've grabbed that position with both hands. I don't see how anyone can take him out of that right back position. But just back onto Odegaard. There is a lot of stories doing the rounds today about 7-year contract, etc., etc. He's going to get a big pay rise. I want to get your opinions on this. Is it risky to give him a 7-year contract? 7 years is a long time in football, a very long time. We've obviously seen down at Chelsea, they're handing out 8-year deals left, right and centre to obviously get around the financial fair play. We don't have that issue at Arsenal. He's obviously signed to Arsenal. We're obviously paying Real Madrid for his services over the length of the current contract to 2025. So if we want to extend his contract, then we're more than happy to do that. He's more than happy to sign it by the sounds of it. And it doesn't go against any financial fair play loopholes that we can break, because he's already our player. But 7 years is a long time. And you don't necessarily see these contracts being handed out very often. I know Declan Rice signed an 8-year contract not so long ago. Harry Kane signed 6-year contract a few years back as well. But 7-year contracts are not ones you see handed out. I want to get your opinion on it. Do you think it's too long? And do you think that we're going to see more and more of these contracts coming up? I mean, listen, he's still a young age. He's still 24 years old. So that would keep him at the club until 31 years old. Me personally, I'm kind of cool with it. I can't lie. And it would protect his value, I suppose, which, let's be real, has definitely gone up from 30 million, which is what we paid for him. And on paper right now, it does look like kind of a bargain. I can't lie. Last season, I didn't say this. I thought it was an absolute rip-off. But this season, I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know whether it's because he's officially wearing the armband. I don't know whether it's because he's having a good season and he's just, something's clicked. I don't know whether it's the fact that Zinchenko and Jesus are in the team and they've brought the levels up of everybody. Whether it's just the fact that we just got better. I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing, long may it continue, because if he's playing well, we're playing well. Yeah, and I do think we do need somebody else in that position, though. I can't lie. Fabio Vieira, for me, just ain't the guy. So I'm expecting us to go out in this summer and get somebody in that position, because we are going to have a lot of games again next season. He's not going to be able to play all of them, plus the internationals and stuff like that. We need somebody else capable in that position. And for me, Fabio ain't the guy. But in terms of the contract, the offer on the table, give him the contract. He's earned it this season. I'm not one for knee-jerk reaction with, oh, he's had a good season, give him 10-year contracts and 7-year deals. But having said that, he is only young and he is the captain of the club, and it would show good commitment from Arsenal Football Club. Now, one thing I will say is we've gone down this route before where we signed up players that have had good seasons and it's all gone wonky. With him, I don't kind of see that. I still think he's young enough to kick on. He's not even in his prime yet, let's be real. So I think this is good business. I genuinely do. I think it'd be good business. His contract's until 2025 anyway. So he's still got 2 years left in his current contract. 5-year extension on top of that. That's kind of calm with me, because in 2 years' time, if he's on a downward spiral, still got 5 years left in his deal, we'll still get decent money for him. So yeah, I'm kind of cool with it. I'd love to know what you guys think. I'd love to know whether you think it's too long or whether he deserves it or not. Let me know. Let me know the thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know also if you think you're going to see more of these contracts being handed out, not just by Arsenal, but by a lot of clubs, and whether you think we need somebody else in that position, and whether you think Fabio Vieira is good enough or not. Leave it all down below. Sub to the channel, subscribe, share it all around. Stick a like on the video, and make sure you sub to the second channel. I'll have a video out on there later. And yeah, like I said, I am on with Terry Flewers as well at 3:30 on the Football Terrace, and then back on here with rants as well. So plenty more content to come. But for now, we're out of here, people. Laters. Ciao.